Beautiful people, hello, hello. Let me quickly adjust some settings over on my end. We got a good one in store for you today. We're going to be talking about let your mind be unhappy. Interesting, interesting. Just do this real quick. There we go. All right, get that taken care of. Crystal first to chat. What's up, Crystal? Hello. Hello, hello. I hope you're doing well. Welcome. Ellie, hello. Welcome. We're trying a new flavor today. Well, it's not new, but you guys are used to seeing me drink blue. We got yellow today. Jennifer, what's up? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing fantastic. How are you guys doing? Beautiful people. How's everyone doing? It is a beautiful day here. It's in the 80s. It was very chilly the other day, and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I'm so excited because that means Halloween time is right around the corner, my favorite time of year. Back to Gatorade. Yeah, well, I like the blue Powerades, but I like the yellow Gatorades. I don't know, I'm weird like that. But yeah, we've got an interesting one in store for you guys today. It is a Saturday, about 3 o'clock for me. But today we're going to be talking about let your mind be unhappy, which may sound strange to some people, right? Especially if you are very connected with your mind and very identified with your mind. Probably sounds very strange. Um, Mother Nature likes to play tricks. Yeah, Mother Nature has been very back and forth recently. Very back and forth recently. Howdy, lads. Good time for a stream. What is up, Ghost? It's good to see you, dude. Welcome. Welcome. But yeah, Mother Nature has been very picky and very strange lately, but I walked out the other day. I was taking him out for a walk, and I walked out and I thought, wow, this feels a lot like fall, and I'm so excited for fall. That was my thought process there. Excuse me. Hey, Wonder Bro, my mind is very unhappy already. Well, we're going to talk about how you're supposed to let that happen. That's what we're going to be talking about today. This has nothing to be, this has nothing to do with trying to make your mind unhappy, right? This has everything to do with let your mind be unhappy. If it is unhappy, we're going to let it be unhappy. Hey everyone, hello, welcome to the stream. So let's go ahead and jump into this one, shall we? Let your mind be unhappy. Now, Jay's comment was interesting. Jay's comment was interesting. I want to clarify straight away. I'm not saying that we're here today to discuss how to make your mind unhappy. That's not what we're here for. We are here today to discuss how you need to let your mind be unhappy. Okay, this comes right back to resistance. This comes right back to fighting and fixing and ruminating, which we know, right, especially if you've been here for a while, we know is the direct cause of suffering and keeping a person sensitized is all of the fighting and resisting, right? Acceptance, Dr. Claire Week's acceptance. So let's jump into it. Okay, so when I say let your mind be unhappy, I'm going to give you some examples here. If you wake up today, or if you woke up today, and your mind said, oh, here we are, we're not recovered yet, oh, we're going to have such a bad day because of all these feelings, let it say these things. Don't get in there and start ruminating over it. Don't get in there and start trying to stop that or fight that. Don't get in there and say, no, 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 stop that. I don't want to think that. No, no, no. Don't do that. Because the moment you do that, the mind picks up on that. It's going to get fueled. It's going to thrive. Those thoughts are going to become louder. They're going to go up and not down. How many of you guys have been successful in your attempts of stopping your unhappy mind? If you have been successful in stopping your unhappy mind, you wouldn't be here. If you have been successful in stopping your unhappy mind, you would not be going through the things that you're going through, right? You would not be dealing with sensitization. You would not be dealing with so much excess anxiety. If you have been successful in fighting your mind and trying to control your mind, you would not be where you are right now. So obviously it doesn't work. Now, I know as a human being, your first thing that you're going to want to attempt when your mind is unhappy is to do something about it, is to try to change that, to fight that, to argue with that, to ruminate over that. But if it worked, right? If it worked, you would not be here. You got to understand that. I know a lot of people try to defend themselves when it comes to, no, I try to use a lot of positive thinking. I try to fight those thoughts away. I don't want to have those thoughts. People try to defend their actions there. But you got to understand something. If that worked, guys, right? Sorry about that. He's going crazy over there. I'll just be honest with you. If that worked, guys, you wouldn't be here, right? Let's be very honest. If that worked, you wouldn't be here. You're here for a reason, and it's because you have tried for so long to fix your unhappy mind. And when I say fix, I basically mean ruminate. You've tried for so happy to fix your unhappy mind, and it's not worked. In fact, it's only made you worse, and that's why you are here today. That's why you have interest in this stream, right? So something's not working. Something's not going right here. And I can tell you, it's the fact that you're trying so hard to make sure that your mind is happy. So if you get an intrusive thought, automatically you go, I got to fight with it, I got to argue with it, I can't have that thought, try to push that thought out, or try to study that thought, try to investigate that thought, try to get to the bottom of that thought. You try so hard, you've made it your full-time job. Let's be honest, you've made it your full-time job to try to fix your thoughts, to try to fix your mind. That way you can try to fix your body, because you don't like the way the thoughts make you feel, so you try to fix them. You have made it your full-time job to play Mr. or Mrs. Fixer of your mind. And if it worked, you wouldn't be on here right now. You wouldn't be on this stream right now. So we're here to discuss letting your mind be unhappy. As long as you don't identify with it, as long as you don't get caught up in the stream, as long as you don't start engaging with it, it will get bored. It will get bored and it will start to leave you alone in time, maybe not instantly, right? You've got a lot of momentum going here in the negative direction, but in time it will get bored. If you continue to try to play fix it, though, it's not going to get bored anytime soon, right? The more power you give to these thoughts, the more power and fuel you give to the unhappy mind, the more it thrives. So I'm telling you today that I'm giving you full permission to retire from your job of playing Mr. or Mrs. Fix It, right? Because again, I've said it 100 times, I'll say it 100 times more. If it worked, you wouldn't be watching this stream right now. Okay, because the way the brain works is the more you try to fix it, the more you engage with it, you ruminate about it, you try to push it away. I don't want to have that, stop that. You try to hold it in close and investigate it. The more you do that, the more you tell the brain these thoughts are important, so the more fuel it gets. So it doesn't work to play Mr. or Mrs. Fix It. You just need to let it suffer, right? I'm not saying you need to suffer. I'm saying you need to let your mind suffer, right? There's two things happening here. You aren't your mind. You aren't the thoughts in your head, right? If your mind wants to be upset, your mind can be upset. Don't try to do anything about it. Essentially, acceptance is doing nothing. Just continue on with your day. Just continue on with your day. Now, that sounds weird for a person who's so used to fighting. That sounds strange for a person who's so used to fixing, right? But just let it happen. Just let it be, right? Don't make it your job to fix your mind. If your mind is upset, let it be upset. If your mind is worried about this thing in the future, let it. Just don't engage. The moment you start to engage with it, oh God, could that happen? And you start to go through these mental processes, trying to figure it out, trying to fix it. Then you need to pull yourself back and say, wait a minute, I just need to go back to leaving it alone. I'm just going to go back to doing the dishes. It can say what it wants to say, right? And we call that the accepting inner voice, where you stop rumination. But keep in mind, that doesn't mean you're not going to have thoughts. They'll keep coming. They'll come back, this and that. They'll cycle. Doesn't mean you're not going to have feelings. But the moment you start to ruminate, that's when you need to say, what is rumination? It's getting involved with, it's engaging with, it's trying to push it out, it's trying to figure it out, it's trying to problem solve, right? The moment you start to engage, you need to say, okay, let my mind be unhappy. If my mind wants to be unhappy, my mind can be unhappy. Now, I'm going to give you examples of this in the real world. I like to give real world examples so that you guys can see that this goes even beyond just anxiety. How many times, show of hands in chat, how many times have you had a good moment ruined, completely ruined by your mind? Show of hands in chat. Drop some emojis or something. How many people in this chat watching this stream right now has had a really good moment in their life, a really good day, or maybe it was supposed to be a really good day. It was a birthday or a holiday or some special occasion, or you met someone for the first time, or you're hanging out with someone, or whatever. It's supposed to be a really good day, or it was a really good day, but it was ruined by the unhappy mind. How many people have had good moments ruined by the unhappy mind, ruined by a mind that is talking about the future, or talking about the past, or talking about what could or might go wrong, or has went wrong? How many people has had good days, good moments ruined, absolutely destroyed by the unhappy mind? Right? Most of us, all of us, have been there. And it happens even after anxiety. It happens even after sensitization. Right? Now, what's the solution? We can all agree that that's happened. What's the solution? Is the solution to try to fix it so the next time the mind is unhappy, you say, oh God, no, I want to have a good day. Shut up, shut up, shut up. And then try to get up there and control the mind? Is that the solution? No, if that worked, you wouldn't be here. The solution is your day does not have to be ruined by the unhappy mind if you're willing to separate from that voice in the head and say, you know what, you can be unhappy. I'm looking up at my mind. You can be unhappy, but I'm enjoying the day. That's how you fix it. You fix it by not trying to fix it. You fix it by not giving it so much attention and power and energy. And you're treating it like a third party. Name it. Name the voice in your head. Give it a name and say, hey, Karen, you can be unhappy, but I'm going to go back to what I was doing. And yeah, Karen will still keep talking. Karen will still keep trying to get you sucked into these thought streams, right? That's okay. Don't try to stop that either. Let Karen say what she wants to say and try to suck you in, but don't go there, right? It can say what it wants to say, right? Ellie, thank you so much. I don't know why the notification sound is not working for that. I will try to fix that. I'm so sorry that the music's not working. Ellie, thank you for the $10 tip. Love you so much. Thank you. Says thanks for all you do. Well, thank you for supporting the stream. First tip of the stream. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate you. Drop some purple hearts in the chat. There, I got it right this time. Point in the right direction. Drop some purple hearts in the chat for Ellie. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. But yes, guys, you don't want to try to play the fix-it of your mind. You don't want to try to get up there and say, no, I want to have a good moment. Please don't ruin my moment. Please shut up. Please shut up. That gives it fuel. It gives it attention. So let Karen, or whatever you want to name your mind, let Karen, or Greg, that's a good one in chat, let Greg or Karen try to ruin the moment, but you don't have to be sucked in. If you're not identified with the voice in the head, then you don't suffer. You only suffer when you think you are the mind, because when you think you are the mind, then it becomes your responsibility to take what it says seriously and then try to make it happy. And the more you try to make the mind happy, the more unhappy you become, because it's never satisfied. It has a response to everything you say. You notice, you ever try to get up there and go back and forth with the mind, and everything you says, it has something to say much louder and much more dramatic? It's never satisfied with your attempts to fix it. And the more you try to play Mr. or Mrs. Fix It, the more upset it becomes. The more upset it becomes. So the only solution then is to disidentify with the mind and just let it be unhappy. Let it suffer. If the mind wants to suffer, let it suffer. Stop trying to make your mind happy, right? If your mind says, oh my God, we need to worry about this, whatever this is, and it keeps bringing it up, okay, just sit back, relax, say, okay, yeah, you can be on that subject for as long as you want to be on that subject. I'm not going to try to investigate it, not going to try to solve it, not going to try to problem solve it. You can say whatever you want to say. You will never find a way to fix your mind. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be the first person to tell you, as a person who spent literal years trying to fix their mind. Use this technique, this technique, this technique. Try to thought stop. Try to use positive thinking. From a person who spent literal years trying to make their mind happy, it doesn't work. I'm just going to shoot you straight. I always do. It doesn't work. You're spoiling your brain. You're spoiling Karen or Craig or Greg or whatever. It doesn't work. And the more you engage, the louder it gets. The more you engage, the worse you feel. The more you engage, the more these thoughts become relevant information to the brain. So the only solution then is to say, you know what? If my mind wants to be unhappy, it can be unhappy. If my mind wants to suffer, it can suffer. So it's going to run its mouth. You're going to have a lot of thoughts. if you start to ruminate and engage with those thoughts, so you start to try to figure them out or push them out or solve them or try to do anything with them, you need to remember, hey, just go back to what I'm doing. I'm just going to go back to what I'm doing. If my mind wants to bitch, it can bitch. It can be unhappy, right? We call that the accepting inner voice. We call that not following thoughts down the rabbit hole. But the reason I'm doing this stream is because I feel like a lot of people think when I say that, I mean, you're not going to have thoughts. And that's not true. You're going to have thoughts. Or when I say that, they think, I should feel good during this process. My mind should be happy, and that's not the case either. So when I say don't ruminate, don't engage, I don't mean that you're not going to have thoughts. I don't mean that the mind is instantly going to become happy if you're using this advice correctly. No, the mind will continue to be unhappy for a little while. Let it, just let it suffer. Stop trying to save it. You're trying to save your mind. Your mind is upset about this topic or this topic, and it's throwing a fit about it. It's being dramatic, and you've made it your job to try to save it. It's not your job to save your mind. Just let your mind be unhappy if it wants to be unhappy. Let your mind throw a fit if it wants to throw a fit. Right? It doesn't matter. It's not your job to get in there and try to fix it. It's not your job to get in there and try to do something about it. Right? So let your mind be unhappy. Let your mind do what your mind wants to do. And that's all I've got for this one, guys. Okay? Thank you so much for watching today's stream. It is not your job to play Mr. and Mrs. Fix-It of your mind. All right? I just dropped my phone on my keyboard. But thank you guys, again, so much for watching, man. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. And yeah, we're going to read comments. We're going to hang out with chat for just a little bit here, see what's going on with you guys. We might come back later to stream a bit later. I don't know. I don't think we're going to hang out today and do like a long hangout portion of the stream because we do have some things that I need to take care of. I seem to engage when I'm very stressed out. I can have anxiety every day. I got to do something with this guy. Look at this guy. I can't read these comments. Give a shit, but I've been really stressed. I catch myself doing it. What is your unhappiness? Anxiety is from physical chronic pain, discomfort. How do we treat that? Same way. If your mind wants to give you stories about your physical pain, let it give you stories about your physical pain, but do not engage in those stories, right? Notice that there's always a story going on in the mind and choose not to engage in it. Choose not to engage in it. Your mind is like a complaining spouse. It absolutely is. But anyway, guys, like I said, I'm on a bit of a time crunch today. I really just wanted to do the topic, but I do have to head out like very quickly. So we might come back later and do another one of these. But anyway, that's all I've got for now. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You can't see me because he's blocking the way. But that's okay. We're going to jump on out of here, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Look, he's forcing me. I got to go.